Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we're going to start up the Forester, let it break in the cams, and hopefully move it on out of the garage so we can do some other little projects. Alright guys, so the braking process for the new stage 2 cams are to have it running between 1500 and 2500 RPM for like 10 minutes, which is quite a long time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump on the Haltech and see if I can just put the idle up to that, and then we'll give it a start and we'll check if we're leaking any exhausts, which I think I am, but I'm not sure because I do have the heads open and I got the block breather open too, so might be chuffing out of there. If we are, that's okay. Alright guys, so I'm actually going to do a start up without putting the idle up, just to see if we are leaking. I'm going to be recording here on my iPhone, and I'll have the GoPro at the back of the car so you can hear it, see if it is a bit lumpy. And I don't have the exhaust open, I'm not planning on to. It's about 7:30, it's dark outside, so a bit of respect for the neighbours. So I did find the table to increase the idle target, so I'll put that up to like 1800, I guess. Yeah, so we'll chuck this on the stand out the back, nice and low, so we can get a bit of a rumble, and that'll be our first start. It was actually last night. Chuffing out of here. Some down there. Might be burning off something. Alright, not good. We are losing oil. That one there? Oh yeah, it's dripping onto the exhaust. That better not be. Oh no. Not what I want. I'm hoping it's just a valve cover gasket and not a cam cap. Oh dear. Alright. A little bit more investigation. We have oil on the headers, have a decent drip at the other end, so maybe it was running down. Hopefully we have oil on the timing case. Maybe it was still running down. I hope so. Let's check the back of the engine. Yeah, I can't see anything on the back side of the engine. Possibly the oil drain back into the head. Doesn't look like it's seated. True. I don't know if you can see it down there. Probably not. Past that banjo, there's another one. It's hard to see. But let's jack it up. see where that oil is coming from. It's not coming from spark plug area. Can't see any oil flowing out. Alright guys, so just looking at this oil spill that I have here, I think it's the cam cap that I tried to fix. So I'm going to be pulling the engine out again, unfortunately, and I'm going to try to keep a lot of the things on the engine. So the turbo will stay on. I'll just undo it from here. I'll undo the dump pipe. I'll take the screen pipe off. With the fuel pressure regulator, I'll take it off from here, and I'll take it off the mount, and that can stay with the engine. That'll go off. Power steering will go over there. So we'll get it out onto the engine stand, and pretty much. Alright guys, it's been a couple of days. Just been thinking about what to do with the Forester. Alright, so I'm not that annoyed that I need to take the engine out, because I do need to address the leaking power steering. So it's actually kind of good. Anyways, we're going to get stuck into it tonight. We are going to take the intercooler pipes off up top here. We're going to get the starter motor off. We're going to get bell housing bolts out, dump pipe off, wastegate dump off, fuel lines off while it's still down, and then once I've done everything that I can, we'll jack it up, drain the radiator, get that out. We're going to try to keep as much on here as possible. I don't want to get the oil out of it, so I'm going to keep it horizontal as well when we're working on it over here. I've got the engine crane in here ready to go. So yeah, we're going to try to keep as much as I can on there. We'll just be able to also check over everything, make sure everything is good. I'm thinking maybe it's just a cam seal. Maybe that cam cap that I re-tapped didn't go so well. So hopefully it's just the seal that's leaking. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we didn't stuff one of those cams. Alright, let's get stuck into it. Alright guys, I'm just going to chuck some music on. I'll put you on a time lapse so I can just go at it. I don't want to have to keep stopping and talking to the camera. It takes so much time doing it like that. So let's get stuck into it. Alright, I've pretty much done everything I can on the top before I need to go underneath and drain the coolant, so then we can get lines off, heater hose off, and yeah, put all the bell housing bolts off except for the two nuts at the bottom. Let's go to, we'll get to from underneath. Radiator will come out. Potentially get this out tonight. It's about 10 o'clock now. It's gone pretty quick. I've done it quite a few times now. So yeah. Wiring's all disconnected, earth's off, alternator is off. You need to get the power steering obviously off and off to the side. So yeah, let's jack it up. Alright guys, you guys were nearly flat after some of those clips. So I put you on charge and I just went at it and I've got it ready to come out. What last time was 10 o'clock, it's 10:45 now. So all bell housing bolts and nuts are off. Engine mounts are off. You can see radiators out, drained. Power steering's off to the side. Vacuum lines are all undone. Only thing at the moment that I'm worried about is probably the wastegate. It's pretty close to the brakes there. But we'll see. We'll see how we go. Right, so let's set up the engine crane. Alright, engine is out once again. It's actually on the stand and also on the crane. Just going to get this cover off here and see if we can see anything, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we get to have a good look at the back side of the engine as well. It looks like we got a little bit of a drip there from that banjo up there, so I'll have to snug that up. Also looks like we've got a bit of a leak here. Something's dripped onto the up part there, and then we've got this mess. So I took the cover off. There's a little bit of oil just on the join here, which has actually come from the bottom side. So look through here, and we've got a bit of oil sitting there. It's really annoying is I've already scratched up my new timing cover, both front and rear, which is annoying. And looks like we're gonna have to get the belt off so we can get this off, get the cam cap off, check that. Might have to re-drill and tap that out to a bigger size. Alright, so we're here. I cable tied the belt so they keep their tension. Hopefully this works. It's on top of the center. Looking at the oil in here, just in the bottom one, not in the top one. Here, it's all dry. It's leaking out of the bolt holes, and they weren't tight. So I don't know if that was me. Or if they back themselves out. So what I might do is take them out, inspect the bolts, and maybe Loctite them. Alright, so I pulled the bolt out. That was the thread that I fixed, and there was no shavings or anything on it. I have cleaned it up since then, but it was just oily. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting a little thread locker there, and then a little bit of sealant on the shaft, so it'll seal on the surface. And obviously torque it to spec, and hopefully we're all good, because it was only coming out of here and both of them were loose. So I may have just forgotten to tighten them up. This one, there was no reason for this one not to be loose. So, and I've got spring washers on them too, so they shouldn't back out. I think I just missed it. So yeah, there's no oil from anywhere else. Actually from this corner, isn't it? Maybe that's coming from the back there. Alright guys, it's the next day. We've got the timing belt back on. Also found a few other bolts that were a bit loose, mainly around the turbo, so we snugged them up as well. I do need to check these 17s, but everything's tight there. Cams are all good. I just didn't tighten them up properly. I found 4 that are a bit loose. 2 here, 1 here, and 1 on that side. I don't know what was going on, but we're all back together now. Let's get the timing cover back on. Both sides back on. Pulley back on. I'm ready to go back in. I'll probably put it in over the weekend, not tonight. Alright guys, finally back. It's Monday night now. Let's get the engine back in. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Alright, engine is sending back in. We've got a few bolts in there. It's sitting on the engine mounts properly. So we're good to go to start getting it back together. Alright guys, we are getting there. I'm putting the belt on at the moment. Done the cable. I'm doing some wiring over here. I'm going to be doing the coolant lines. Should be very easy. They are just a -8. So yeah, I'll probably get the radiator in, fill it all up, and then come back tomorrow for a start. Alright guys, it's the next night. It is freezing. Had the heater on for about 4, just under 4 hours, and it's 8 degrees in here. It's colder outside. Anyways, I'm going to drop the car down. I'm going to fill it up with water. Yes, water. Just in case anything happens again. We are just draining water now. I haven't done up the cooler pipes again, just in case something happens. We don't need to do all that. But all the silicon's on there. I'm not running boost through it or anything, so it should be just fine. But yeah, it's all in there. Might make some noise from the clamps rattling around. But we can move them around so they're not. Alright, let's get this off the jack stand. This is really high compared to last time. Yeah, let's get it flat, fill it up, and we'll probably come back tomorrow because it's 9 o'clock. So I'll fill it up and come back straight after work and give it a little start. Hopefully we don't have any leaks. Fingers crossed we don't have any leaks like at the start of the episode. Alright, we've just put 2 litres in, got another 2 there. No leaks. Alright, I'm gonna prime the fuel system, make sure we don't have any leaks. I'm gonna play around in the Haltech software. I'm gonna make sure that the idle is high enough. As I might have seen at the start, maybe the end of last episode, when it was idling for a little bit, it was only like 600, which is way too low. That's why it sounds so rattly. So we want it up. At the moment, we want it like 1500 plus, but I like to have it sitting at about 1100. Might have to manually open the butterfly with a little grub screw that's here. But yeah, so I might put it onto the Haltech gauge, turn the gauge around, and then I can adjust it and look at the gauge at the same time. If it's running good, fingers crossed. Alright boys, we have fuel pressure and no leaks, which is great. As you can see, wiring's a bit of a mess over here. Still need to make the carbon fibre cover for over here. At the moment, we'll just leave it like that. Still burping over here. Obviously, once the car starts, this is gonna suck down fingers crossed we don't have oil leaks. Alright, I just jumped onto the can art configurer. So gauge is now facing this way, so I can adjust here if I need to, but I'll have a look at the Heltec software. Looks like we've stopped with the water. Yeah, we're pretty much right to start again. Alright guys, I've done what I need to do tonight. I'm going to go start editing this video. We'll come back tomorrow, we'll start it up, and we'll see how we go. Better run. Better run. Good. Alright guys, it's the next day after work. Let's see how cold it is. 8 degrees. And it's like 5:15. 5:20. Alright, so the main goal here is no leaking and to get it to idle above 1,000. So I'm going to loosen off this little, that's a 10, so we can adjust it manually. I think I'm having a little bit of trouble with the Heltec getting it there because it's not drive-by-wire, and drive-by-wire is a lot easier to do. Anyways, let's open up the garage, start it up, see how we go. Alright, just going to put the power on. We'll see if we are still sitting on RPM on the Heltec gauge, and we'll crank it over, making sure that we do not have an oil leak from the can. Damn computers. Alright, so got my Phillips head to adjust it. Hopefully I can. You can hear that. That's that. You can see RPM. Start it up. See how we go. There's no fuel in the lines. I can't see any oil, but there's obviously some chuffing. Hopefully it's from the breathers. Let me get it going. Yeah, mate. Yeah. I think the battery's just too dead. And I don't have the battery charger here anymore. Damn it. Alright. We'll come back later. I've got to make dinner. This will start. I've got about 6% throttle on this.
should idle up, but we're not getting the cranking speed. Hear that, guys? Hear that, guys? That's the XT. I need to put my LEDs in that still. Battery on. We'll boot up the computer at 7:30 now, and we should be able to start it. Right, GoPro just cracked and decided it didn't want to play, so we are on the iPhone. See how we go. Right. Sitting at 13.3. Car is on. So it hasn't started, but ignition's on. Alright, let's see if we can get this idle to work. So we are sitting at 6% with the throttle position, so let's see if this works. So, see RPMs there. You can see it while I'm adjusting. Oh guys, I have no idea why it's not starting. It started the other day before I pulled it out, and I haven't changed anything, so what are your thoughts? It's not good. I got the timing right when I put it back together. I guess I can check that. I'll take the covers off if I can. Pretty sure I got the timing right. The only other thing, maybe failed plugs. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll check you in the next episode. Bye.